Alright, welcome back. Here we are at Unit 8-2, and today we're going to be talking about something called standard form. Standard form is when we're going to have a linear equation, and we're going to want to place it in a certain way. It'll make things much easier for us when we have to graph some straight lines. We'll find out how that works in just a few minutes. Our math career for today is an economist. Now, of course, economy has to do with money, and if there's one thing that's affects every person in the first world, at least for sure, it's going to have to know how to deal with money and banking and planning and salary structure and how to buy and sell and how to manage money. You can tell that the salaries are pretty healthy here, speaking of money. You'll see your mathematics that you need there, and of course economics is going to be part of your future there, and even game theory, believe it or not, because you're going to deal with interest rates and investments and so on. Anyway, the economist. Alright, today we're going to learn to recognize and use the standard form of a linear equation. So our vocabulary for today, just what we said, the standard form of a linear equation. We'll see what you're going to see here are some things in red. I would strongly recommend that you write them into your notebook there so you can refer to them later, and they're easy to come by if you have them right in front of you. Of course, form can be thought of as an order in which terms are written. In this case, you notice here we have y equals mx plus b. This is something from previous courses you've had called the slope-intercept form. Today, in your notebook, you should write down this one. This is going to look familiar to what we've seen before, but you'll notice it's not ax squared. It's going to be ax to the first. This is a linear function. This is the standard form of a linear equation. This can make things much easier for graphing, as we'll see upcoming pretty soon, but you should probably definitely write that down. Ax plus by equals c. This is the standard form of a linear equation. Alright, now, some things to take note of here. In regards to this, ax plus by equals c, it's an important note that a, b, and c are always integers. What does that mean? Always integers. Well, let's look at a counterexample. It means they're not fractions, they are not decimals, they are not irrational numbers. Always integers. Integers like 1, 16, negative 12, 100, something like that. Nice numbers you'd see on a number line. A and b are not both 0. One can be 0. In fact, that's kind of helpful for us. But a and b are not both 0. And the coefficient of x there, is non-negative, which means it'll be 0 or positive. So non-negative simply means it can be the number 0 or a positive number for a. And if it's not, then we need to do a little bit of manipulation to help us out. Okay, some more for our understanding here. In standard form for a linear equation, if a equals 0, so if you have 0 there in front of your x, the graph will be a horizontal line. So something you're going to have to see if you have something like that, 0x plus 2y equals 2, you're going to get a horizontal line. Now, if the coefficient of x being 0 is a horizontal line, what do you think is going to happen when we have the coefficient of y being 0? Well, you might have intuitively felt it already that if the letter b, or the coefficient of y, is 0, we're going to get a vertical line. So if you have 0 there, you're going to end up with a vertical line. Now, if neither one of them, if neither a nor b are 0, the graph will be non-horizontal or non-vertical. We'll just call it a regular line. It'll just be a normal line with a slope of some kind. Okay. All right. So with that information, let's take a look. There's an example of a normal line for you right there. Let's take a look at a couple of things for you to exercise on your own here. Tell if each of the following equations, when graphed, will result in a horizontal line or a vertical line or something that's a normal regular line. What do you think? Here we've got a set equal to 0. What do we say about the coefficient of x being 0? That's going to give us a horizontal line. What about this one? Well, looks the same. Looks like we have some numbers that are different, but still, what's 0? A is 0, so we have a horizontal line here. What about this one? 2x plus 0y equals 4. Here we're going to get a vertical line. Good, vertical line. How about this one? 3x plus 2y equals 8. Well, I don't have A being 0, I don't have B being 0, so therefore we just have a regular line. How about 2y equals 6? 2y equals 6. Well, now this looks different here because I don't see what's missing. What would make x disappear? Well, how do you make x vanish? Give it a coefficient of 0, and x will be gone, so this is a horizontal line. How about this one? 3x equals 6. Well, here we got kind of the flip. Now y is gone, so it must be a vertical line. How about this one? 2x equals y. Well, let's see. I have a coefficient of 2 for x and a coefficient of -1 for y, correct? Because if I were to consider this in standard form, which we'll try to help you out with right here, if I subtract that y, wouldn't this be 2x minus y equals 0? So I have a 2 for this coefficient, I have a -1 equals 0, so this looks like, to me, a regular line. What about this one? Y equals 9. Well, x is gone, so therefore it's a horizontal line. Alright. You've already learned that not all equations are written in the form that we want. Of course, that's going to happen. So, place the following equation in the standard form and then identify A, B, and C. So let's take a look at this one. Y equals -2x plus 4. Remember, the standard form of a line is ax plus by equals c. So what kind of problem, how can we handle this problem, I should say? Let's move that -2x over to the left side. So why don't we add 2x, not to one side, but to both sides of our equation, and we end up with 2x plus y equals 4. That's in standard form. Now let's identify A, B, and C. A would be, what do you think? A should be 2, B should be 1, and what is C then? In this case, C is indeed 4. Good. Alright, now, how about this one? 1/2 times the quantity x plus 5 equals y. So, of course, I'm not going to leave you to handle this completely on your own. It'd be a good idea if we could get rid of that 1/2. Let's see, how do we make a fraction disappear? And of course, whatever we do to one side of an equation, we do to the other. So watch how we handle something like this. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that fraction. Fractions, they aren't impossible to work with. They're just a little annoying. So if we can remove them, then go ahead. So we're going to multiply the left side by 2, which of course means we're going to multiply the right side by 2. Keep things balanced. And we rewrite our equation. And how about this? How about we move that x over? In one step, we end up with the following. 5 equals 2y minus x. So we're a little jumbled up here. We want the x out front. We want the y on the other side. So let's see what we can do. If we end up setting it up like this, my a now looks to be -1. So we can't have a negative a. We really don't want that. All right. So what do we do here with this -1? If I want to change that -1x to a positive 1x, I think we have a nice easy trick we can employ here. We can take this, just multiply both sides of the equation by -1, and you'll get you a proper form for your equation. So x becomes positive, the b there, the positive 2y becomes -2, and the positive 5 becomes -5. And now you get your new a, b, and c. Alright then, so how does that look? Not too bad. We just want to set it up in standard form. So here we go. There's some more instruction there at the top. We have digital and scored practice there at the bottom at the same site. I'd encourage you to maybe spend a couple minutes with it, see what you can do. Alright then, we'll talk to you soon.